So what I thought I would do in this video is just kind of go over some really basic things about driving in this game with the wheel. And I think these some of these things that I can tell you will probably help if you're using controller as well. But I've just noticed that there's no real absolute beginner tips that YouTubers do for these games that I kind of want to do, because I am by no means like a sim racing guy. Like, I am just getting into this. I have a very basic wheel. I have like the cheapest. I have the Thrustmaster T150 Pro. It's like one of the cheapest ones you can get, very entry-level force feedback wheel. I just wanted to share some of my settings and just some tips and tricks to get you racing, get you around the course better, okay? I'm not going to be giving you tips on actual racing. I'm not going to get into that yet. We're going to get into that a little bit later. I think I'm going to start a whole new career series on this. So with that being said, let's get right into getting around the track, shall we? Okay guys, so before we actually get into the race, there's some things I want to address about the gameplay and the control schemes of the game. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the gameplay options. Now, when you get here and it says authenticity, this is what I'm going to recommend, and I know this is probably going to sound crazy, especially because I'm talking about beginners, but steering assistance and brake assistance, you really don't want these on. Okay, these are really going to hurt you in the long run, because I'm going to tell you why. You're not going to get the true feeling of the car with these two assists on. Okay, what's going to happen is that when you come into a turn, there may be a curve or something that you don't have to brake for, and the game will brake for you. You know, and you'll hear the tires screeching and stuff, and you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is the car making these sounds? And that's why. And it's going to slow you down so much. So I would say practice. Pick a track, pick a car, and practice, and get really good at driving around that track. And then you can switch cars, you know what I mean? Like, this is a game that, to get really good, you're going to have to put a lot of time into. You know, we're all in quarantine anyway, so why not? The only other thing I do is the driving assist, I keep authentic. So, in other words, if the car is equipped with these things in real life, then it'll have them in the game. So it's like anti-lock brakes, stability control, and traction control. So again, if the car in real life has these features, then the car in the game will have these features. I kind of like that. And as you can see, like, the anti-lock brakes are low, the traction control is low, and the stability control is set to authentic, which that's fine. All these other settings here, these are all just purely preference and up to you what you actually want to do. So we're back out of this, and now we're going to get into the controls. Now this, guys, this is if you have a steering wheel, okay? If you don't have a steering wheel, then just like fast forward over this portion or whatever. But these are for the steering wheel, guys. So as you can see, this will tell you what steering wheel you have. I do have the Thrustmaster T150 Pro, and the only reason that it's Pro is that I have the upgraded pedal set with it. That's what makes it the Pro. So what we're going to do is, in the configurations, you want to make sure your steering dead zone is set to 0. You want to make sure all of your dead zones are basically set to 0. That's what you want. You don't want any of your dead zones with any numbers. They have to be all set to 0. That's the best way to do it. Edit assignments, again, this is all preference. You can do it any way you want. Force feedback. So here's the thing. They have flavor, and this, it says the force feedback replicates the forces that a driver experiences when driving a real vehicle, inform you as to how the vehicle reaction or response to your inputs. There are 3 force feedback profiles, flavors, each with their own preset settings. Now, I like the immersive. I haven't tried the raw yet, That says unfiltered force feedback, allowing you to feel the full strength of the various forces felt by drivers. I haven't tried that one yet. The informative, I feel that you don't feel enough in the steering wheel. For me, anyway. The immersive for me is the best feeling out of the informative, and immersive is, again, the raw. I haven't tried yet. I have to try that, and maybe we'll do another video on that to see what that is. The gain, I have my gain set at 60 because I do like to feel a little bit of fight in the steering wheel. If you don't like that, I would say go down to maybe 30 or 40. But you really do want to feel everything through the steering wheel, and you'll be able to feel your mistakes. You'll be able to feel understeer, oversteer, all that good stuff. Everything else, it's default settings. The only thing I did, I turned up the gain, the volume, tone, effects, and menu spring strength. I have left the same. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start. We're going to start in this view, and this is kind of the view that I recommend for beginners. And this is even the view I would recommend if you're driving on a new track that you're not familiar with. This is a really good view. So as we hit that line, okay, now we're controlling. So we're going to go easy on the gas. We're not going to just jam on it. This first turn is easy. Get right around there. Don't even have to let off the gas. Now we have to brake. Now, it's very important. As soon as that line turns green, let off the brake. And another thing that's pretty important in this game is that you want to brake in a straight line. That's like just the best advice I could give is really try to brake in a straight line. The cars, they really don't like turning while braking. You want to slow down to where you can get around it and then hit the gas. And again, like I say, remember when that line turns green, let off the brake. You don't need to keep braking. You don't want to overbrake, you don't want to underbrake. You want it to kind of get it like just in the sweet spot. Now this one here, we're just going to kind of chuck it in. There we go. And we didn't even have to let off the gas. Now this chicane is tricky. We're going to brake early. Hit the brake kind of hard. Okay. Easy on the gas. And just like that, nice and easy. Now as you get better, you can brake later. Like I did there. But I almost lost it. That's probably not the best one to brake later on. But the more you get used to a track and the more you get used to a car, you'll be able to figure out what you can do and what you can't do. Because when you're actually in a race, it seems like the AI brakes a lot earlier than maybe you would. So you got to kind of figure that out. Now this turn coming up, I feel that I can brake later on this one. Yeah. Now this particular Corvette is actually a pretty easy car to drive, I must say. And I will show you an example of what I mean when I get around to the next straightaway here. Okay, so I just kind of jerked the wheel a little bit there just to get it around there. That chicane again, we're going to slow down. Take the foot off the brake, I'm sorry. Get around here. Okay, now we're going to stop right here. Dead, right? Stop. Okay. Now, here's the thing. With this car, if I just slam on the gas right now, it's pretty stable, as you can see. I'm just going to slam the gas. So the back end, it got loose a little bit, but not too bad. so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this same track, but with a different car. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, so again, we're going to be on the same track, the Silverstone Classic, but this time we're going to be driving this Ferrari Enzo. And this gets, this is a difficult car. This is difficult for cornering. It's a difficult car to drive. So let's take a look and see the differences between this car and that Corvette, shall we? All right, guys. So this is the first time I've ever driven this car. I've never driven this particular car before. There's a lot of cars in this game I haven't driven before, actually. So I have no idea how this is going to be. With as fast as this car goes, I'm sure this is probably going to be entertaining to say the least. Get the tires warm before you start pushing hard. But what I want to do is I want to kind of do the same test that I did with that Corvette. Like from a full stop, just slam on the gas and see what happens. But I want to go around the track first just to kind of get a feel of the car. So because it is faster, I have to brake a lot sooner. And again, I mean, this feels a lot different. Like the wheel, it's handling much different in the wheel. This thing is fast. But man, it handles nice. It is handling nice. I like it. Okay. This up here, this will be tricky to see if it can handle this. I definitely had to let off the gas to get around that corner, no doubt. There's that chicane. Slow down a little more here. Okay, so we did that. So now let's see how this car reacts when I just slam on the gas. Oh. See what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, guys. All these cars handle differently. As you can see, when I did the Corvette, you know, the rear end, it kicked out a touch. This car, when you just slam on the gas, you totally lose control. And it's because it's so much more powerful. So that was an awesome test. That's exactly what I wanted to show. Now let's just see if we can drive this a little bit harder, shall we? This is fun to drive, I gotta say. Let's see what this looks like in the cockpit, shall we? Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Not too bad, guys. I'm liking this. I gotta say, there's one Lamborghini in the game that it was actually in the thumbnail that it doesn't drive as nice as this Ferrari does. I'm actually very impressed with this Ferrari. I am liking this a lot. So as you can see, I can actually brake a lot later for the chicane in this car for some reason. I love the interior of this car. I would give anything to just drive one of these cars in real life, man. I would love it. So, I think this is where I'm going to end the video, but what I want to do is I just want to go over some of the key points that I kind of want to let you guys know about this. For one, if you get frustrated, I totally get it. I've been there. But really what you want to do is kind of have patience. And like I say, when you get around these corners, if you find yourself spinning out, it's probably because you're giving too much gas. Especially with the more higher powered cars. Like I said, you've seen what happened when I went from a full stop and just slammed on the gas in this Ferrari. It was completely uncontrollable. So when you go around these corners, you want to just ease on that gas. The same thing on controller. Controller, you want to do it, you know, as easy as possible. It's, you know, for me, it's easier to do with the gas pedal because you can actually ease the gas pedal down. With the controller, you know, it's a button, so, you know, it's a little different, but you can definitely do it. It's definitely doable. Again, with the braking, you want to try to brake in a straight line. Try not to brake into the curve. That's like a huge tip right there. Because what happens is, yeah, your wheels will lock up and you won't get through the turn good at all. And again, the other one is that if you're using the racing line, which if you're a beginner, I'm assuming you're going to use the racing line, you know, green means go. So when you see that turn red and you hit your brakes, and the minute that line turns green again, you know, take your foot off the brake. There's no reason to keep your foot on the brake. And I'll even kind of show you. Okay, I'm braking, and now I'm turning. So, I mean, you're going to lose a lot of time going around the corners if you keep that brake pedal pressed too long. Let me try to see if I can brake into the turn. See, this car doesn't do it too bad. And again, that's another thing with this game. That's why you really have to practice, because all these cars react so differently. Some cars, they don't want to brake into a turn for nothing. Other cars, like this one, handles pretty damn good, actually. So what it is, with this game especially, is it's a learning curve, because everything handles so differently. Each car handles differently. Like I say, each track seems to handle differently. And then when you start factoring things like weather and stuff like that, you know, because actually, like, the daytime temperatures, just like in real life, they will affect the track. You know, warmer temperatures, the track will have more grip. Colder temperatures, you know, it'll take a while. You'll have to warm up the track more. You know, and in this game, you have to warm up your tires and you have to warm up your brakes. It's pretty in-depth, but I can honestly say, with the things I've learned from the F1 2018 and playing Grid, I'm doing a lot better with this game, and I'm having a lot more fun with it, which I'm so happy about, because, you know, I mean, you hate to buy a game and not play it. And I really love the cars in this game. I really like the fact that there's so many different cars that you could drive, and there's so many different tracks. And it's a shame that, you know, I haven't really got into the game more because of the reason that I just wasn't having fun playing it, because I completely sucked at it. You know, I mean, the graphics are great on it. And all I can really say is that, you know, now Codemasters owns Project Cars, so I can't wait to see what Project Cars 3 is going to be like. What I would really hope to see is a game much like this, with this many cars and tracks in the great weather physics in the game with possibly a more in-depth career mode. That's what I would like to see out of a Project Cars 3. But with that being said, guys, I think we're going to end this video. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope you're figuring out ways to not get bored. I would suggest picking up Project Cars 2. It'll keep you busy for a long time. If you're a race fan, there's just so many cars, so many tracks. April 28th, SnowRunner is coming out. I will be getting that. You're probably going to be seeing a lot of that on the channel. Also, Call of the Wild has its Great Ones update on the 28th, so I'll be playing that, trying to find one of these Great One white-tailed deer. I'll probably find a melanistic red deer before I ever find that, though. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I hope everyone's having a good day. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we'll see you next time.